Welcome to Carter's Retro Reviews. Today we're reviewing Virtua Fighter Kids for the Sega Saturn. Now, this is a simulator kind of game where you look after a bunch of kids that were in the game Virtua Fighter and...
No.
Wait, what?
It's a fighting game.
Fighting game?
No, one-on-one fighting game. Yeah.
One-on-one fighting game?
Yeah.
Another one?
Yeah.
Aww, fuck! You see, I'm torn. I came into this game with my preconceived notions of how it was all going to play out. I thought it was going to be a throwaway title and not a whole lot more. I thought this was going to be an easy game to review. But when I put it in and watched even just the intro video, wow, colour me intrigued. Intro video is one of the best I've seen on the console. Okay, certainly not seminal like we saw with the original Virtua Fighter or even the sequel, but damn, if you want a way to impress me, good start, Sega. Okay, so now you have my interest. I don't know if this is the right term, but people call them super deformed, but aren't they just in the chibi style? I'm not against the style in the slightest, as I have an undying love for Super Gem Fighter Mini Mix Alpha Mega fucking Pikachu Blastoise. Plus, I don't see why they should be called super deformed. They're cute as hell. Wiki mentions that originally in Japan, Virtua Fighter Kids was released on the Saturn as a promotional item in cooperation with drink brands Java Tea and Energen under the title Virtua Fighter Kids Java Tea Original Edition. It was later released commercially without any mention of Java Tea on the front cover. All Java Tea product placement was removed from the Western versions of the game. The game was developed and published by Sega and started in the arcades, which, okay, by now you might have heard me say once or twice before. Then blammo over to the Saturn in the same year in all three territories. The presentation of the game is exactly what you think it would be with the kiddie theme throughout from the menu through to the in-game. In fact, it's not just consistent, it's much better than that. Although, I'm a little confused by one or two small things like the round winner indicator being a closed flower bud until they win, and then it opens up. Which is a nice touch, don't get me wrong, but I just don't know how that fits in thematically. It's bright, clean, looks nice, albeit simple. In-game is pretty nice with stage number, time and health all taking up appropriate amounts of screen room and fitting in with everything else. Graphics are pretty damn good, but they would want to be. At the start of the review, I intentionally left out that, okay, yes, it was a part of the Virtua Fighter series, but the original, remix, and the sequel all came out before this game. So this would want to look really nice. Animation is smooth as shit on an all peanut butter diet. Detailing is as good as you'll find almost on any other 3D fighter by Sega, with all the small things like moving quickly results in these little dust clouds behind your feet. It's just really nice. Collision detection was really good, and from what I could see, there was no glitching. I read somewhere too that the game was developed to practice on the facial and eye animations for the characters for Virtua Fighter 3. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. But that aspect of the game is quite good in itself and a clear stepping stone for what is to come. Sound are kiddie remixes of Virtua Fighter songs. The quality of the songs are pretty good, mostly. The song which really got me going was the intro song. Wow. The rest of it is pretty good and sound effects are pretty damn good as well. Gameplay is pretty good for the most part. There are a few times where I felt the game wasn't responding quick enough, but you know what? That could have just been my shit playing. Otherwise, the controls are tighter than a fist in the anus. The next issue I have might have existed in Virtua Fighter 2, but the rose-coloured glasses might have glossed over such detail. And that was a small handful of characters had these combos that were super fast and hard to block, which would destroy 3/4 of my health. In a way, it was good to utilise it as a player, but total shit to block against. Sarah had this kick combo which was 2 kicks, and on default settings would destroy half my life. Pei or Pi or however the fuck you pronounce it, had this punch combo which finished in this kick which destroys 2/3 of your health. Jeffrey has an unblockable hug and dump which destroys half your life. Gee, that sounds German. Anyway, Keiji loves to attack your feet, and when you're on the ground he blasts into the air and stands on your chest twice, doing 1/3 of your life in damage. What I will say that's an absolute positive is the ability to have custom combos. In the options screen, you can assign one button to do a series of punches and kicks, which works in Kids mode. Kids mode itself really feels like a control-assisted mode, with the computer kinda helping you to suck less if you're anything like me, which is a good thing to begin with, and once you need more of a challenge, normal is ready to kick your ass. The difficulty on normal did get to me once or twice, being stuck on a certain character which I couldn't beat with the character I had, but for the most part felt pretty damn close to right. Replay value is several modes, which includes arcade, versus, ranking mode, and watching mode, so in that sense, there's plenty here for you to do. Would I recommend this game? Yes, I would, in the sense that it's fun, feels good to play, and has a few small things to make it its own. It didn't feel like the throwaway it could have been, but then again, that could have been compared to something like Column's Arcade Collection or the Space Invaders Collection. On the other hand, it's a no in the sense that if you have Virtua Fighter 2 and you don't really care for the style, you're not really missing much. It would only be designed for a collector, someone who loves the chibi style, or if you have and love other Sega 3D fighters, then this one would be a nice addition.